Welcome to A Direction Forward, Season 5, Episode 11. And this one's going to talk about the only video you need to listen to to understand an avoidant. And I ran across this guy. I've kind of listened to him on and off for a while now. And then this one popped up, of course, it's something always pops up with your algorithms. And I thought, well, let's see what he has to say. And I have to tell you that this man is like completely like spot on. And he talks about 8 different things that an avoidant will go through. And I thought I was living in a place where it was like rinse and repeat, kind of like, that movie that was on, Groundhog Day. But to be an avoidant, I mean, and this is your life. It's Groundhog Day, and you're just going. It's just a repeat. And I don't know how people do it, and I don't know. Truly, it's just not. Anyway, it's not something that I would be interested in or even remotely want to, be an avoidant. And unfortunately, I have run into an avoidant, and I'm going to tell you, it's exactly like this guy is talking about. So the person's name is Paul Gaudet. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not. And he has some reels that he does, and they're very interesting and very informative. So I want you to listen to this, and then we'll talk a little bit after he's finished.
There is something that you should know about avoidants. They don't date in straight lines. They move in cycles. And you know what? That pattern is predictable, especially when you understand it. There's stage 1, the I'm lonely, I want connection. See, even avoidants crave love. Deep down, they want intimacy, partnership, closeness, the whole shabam. So they go looking for it. Dating apps are often their comfort zone. Endless options, no pressure, easy validation, a rush of dopamine that feels like possibility. And eventually they meet someone that feels right. Stage 2, I think that this is my person. The early stage, it's a high. The validation feels amazing. Dopamine is pumping, and all their insecurities, they're completely numbed. This is where they pour it on hard. Love bombing, big feelings, deep conversations. It feels like soul connection chemistry, and it feels real to them. They actually genuinely believe that they finally got it right this time. But this flood of emotion, it's not vulnerability. It's suppressed emotion bursting out while the fears are still asleep. Then there's stage 3. Something feels off. I think that the spark is gone. 3 to 8 months in, the dopamine naturally drops. And now their underlying wounds resurface. Closeness now feels unsafe. Conflict feels threatening. Expectations feel like pressure. Why? Because these things were dangerous in their childhood. They grew up unable to express emotions, always bracing for rejection and high expectations that they could never meet. So in adulthood, normal relationship intimacy triggers the old wounds. In their head now they're thinking, you'll see that I'm flawed. I'll disappoint you. Maybe this isn't right. And they don't realize that it's their insecurities that are talking. And then there's stage 4. I'm thinking of leaving, but I just won't say it. Inside, their urge to run is growing. But on the outside, they're still acting normal. They don't share their fears. They don't communicate their discomfort. They keep pretending that everything is fine. And meanwhile, they're mentally inching their way towards the exit. Then, stage 5. I'm leaving, and it's definitely your fault. Once they've mentally checked out, now the narrative changes. So to avoid facing their shame and their insecurities, what do? They blame the partner. They start manufacturing reasons. We're not compatible. You're too needy. I'm just not feeling it. You like Italian food. I don't. Anything to avoid confronting the truth. Like, I'm scared. and I don't know how to deal with real intimacy. Rejection protects them from self-reflection, a place that they fear. Why? Because it triggers deep shame. Then there's stage 6, the discard. Then suddenly they're gone. Cold, shut down, emotionally unreachable. You're blindsided, they're detached. Why? Because detaching protected them as kids. And so when they're overwhelmed, they suppress their emotions. It's like flipping a switch. And in the breakup, they will suppress their feelings, their empathy, and their guilt. And that's why the discard feels so damn brutal. Like you never mattered. Then there's stage 7. I'm relieved until I'm not. Right after leaving, they actually feel free. They feel light. They feel unburdened. They'll convince themselves this was the right call to make. And so they distract themselves. They work harder. They travel. They hang around with friends a lot more. And as much as you hate to hear this, yes, there will be rebounds. Anything to avoid their emotions. But eventually, that loneliness, it creeps in. The emptiness hits. And the whole I'm better alone story, it starts falling apart. And then there's stage 8. Why can't I find the right person? They avoid accountability by framing the pattern as bad luck. I just haven't met the right person yet. If it were truly meant to be, I wouldn't be feeling this way. And meanwhile, they're fantasizing again about the perfect relationship. Easy, surface level, no conflicts, no expectations, no vulnerability. A relationship that just doesn't exist in the real world. And from here, they either breadcrumb their ex or they start dating again, right back to stage 1. And this is going to continue until they do the inner work. And if not, guess what? They're going to repeat that cycle for a lifetime. So here's what you need to remember. Their cycle has nothing to do with your worth. It's not a reflection on how lovable you are. It's not because you failed. This is their unhealed wounds, their fear, their shame, their lack of emotional safety from childhood. You did not cause this pattern, and you cannot fix it. Only they can. So drill that truth into your heart because it's real. And save this video if you have to, or send it to someone who's dealing with an avoidant.
So there you have it. I mean, it's unbelievable that he talks about these 8 stages. And I have to admit that I went through all 8 of those stages with this person. And I didn't realize it, of course, at the time. I didn't even realize it, that he was an avoidant because I had never come across an avoidant again, before. And so I had no idea that they even existed, basically. I'm sure I've run into them before, but, we didn't maybe call it an avoidant at that time or, looked at it as just somebody that just wasn't that into you, I guess. But this guy, seriously, all 8, 100%, all 8, 100%. And especially the last one where I like how he talks about the thing is, you can't fix an avoidant, okay? And the more you try to show them whatever affection or love or whatever, all it does is make them go further away from you. So you can't fix them. They have to heal themselves. They have to heal and go through with someone, with a therapist that deals with just avoidant behavior. And if they don't do that, if they don't do the homework, if they don't seek help, they're never going to get out of the eight things, the cycle. It's like I said, it's going to be Groundhog Day for them. And I want to say that I feel sorry for them, but I really don't, because they've created it themselves, and they can get out of it, and they can be a person that is loving and caring and doesn't looks at you with love and care and respects you and wants the best and everything, instead of someone that looks at you like, how can I get out of this? And why are you saying that to me? I don't want to hear that. I remember him saying to me that he felt that he wasn't good enough or something about it. Was kind of weird, and I kind of went, what is he talking about? And now I understand that it's his insecurities. It's his, problem, how he grew up or whatever happened to him as a child. It's not me to fix, and it wasn't me to fix. And I'm so thankful. My therapist said, this guy did me a huge favor, and he did. He did me a huge favor. And I'm so appreciative, and I have gone in a direction forward. I'm moving out of a place that I really and truly don't like. The house is great. My home is fantastic. In fact, the buyer's realtor said to my realtor that of all the places where I live, that mine was the most, fantastic that she'd ever seen. And so that's a testimonial that, that I did a good job. So it's not the house, it's just the people, and it's the community, and it's just like living with the friggin' Walking Dead. And again, it's a rinse repeat. But I'm getting out of it. But an avoidant, oh no, they can't get out of it. They're unable to get out of it. And again, you want to feel sorry, but don't feel sorry for them, because there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. The only thing that I would suggest you do is just, say bye-bye and, look at them in the rearview mirror, because you're never, ever going to have a 10 out of 10 relationship with an avoidant, and especially if they're not going and getting help and getting over this, whatever's happened to them when they were a child. So I hope you enjoyed this session of A Direction Forward. You can shoot me an email. I'm at adirectionforward@yahoo.com. Love hearing from you, and I hope you have a great day.